Welcome back to the deep dive. You know, in this super connected world we live in, it feels like everyone's constantly searching, right? Looking for real ways to make money online or just tools that actually work. We all want that edge, that system that delivers. But, I mean, how do you tell the good stuff from...
Well, stuff that just looks good.
Yeah. So today, we're going to do a deep dive into one system making noise online. It's called the Pegasus Digital Income System over at getpegasusofficial.com. Promises a shortcut. And the big question for you listening is this thing legit? Is it a real path to digital income, a better workflow, or is something, I don't know, less honest going on? Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, it's a really important question. Because like you said, the internet's full of tempting offers, and they can easily hide what's really going on. You absolutely have to look closely. So for this deep dive, we're leaning heavily on an investigation by the Scam Finder YouTube channel. They did a video review that really picked Pegasus apart to see what's actually there.
Right, and our mission today is basically to pull out the key findings from that Scam Finder investigation. We want to give you a clear sense of what Pegasus says it is, and crucially, whether it holds up. We want you to have the info you need when you bump into offers like this online. So let's start with the appeal, because it does sound good at first glance. The Pegasus Digital Income System, it says it helps you build an online presence, organize your workflow, and even use automation to make life easier. I mean, that sounds useful, right? Who wouldn't want that?
Oh, absolutely. It taps right into those core desires people have online. You know, wanting more freedom, less hassle, maybe making some decent money without a huge amount of effort. The language they use, it hits those pain points of feeling overwhelmed online.
Yeah.
And it presents this like simple fix. That promise of easy money or easy solutions is always a powerful hook, psychologically speaking.
It really is. But, and here's where it gets interesting. That appeal starts to crack pretty quickly when you look closer. Scam Finder didn't just look at the website's promises. They looked at what people were saying. And they found a lot of users, you know, on Reddit, other places, flat out calling getpegasusofficial.com a scam. That's a pretty strong consensus from users, isn't it?
It's a huge warning sign, yeah.
Yeah.
User feedback is often your canary in the coal mine. But ScamFinder also dug into the site itself, and what they found was, well, kind of fascinating. It showed all the classic signs you see with scam sites. For one, it's super new, like brand new, which means zero track record, right?
Weekend history.
Exactly. And maybe even more telling, ScamFinder pointed out it hides its ownership details. Completely anonymous.
Never a good sign.
Definitely not. These aren't accidents. A new site means no bad reviews yet, and hiding who's behind it, that's about avoiding any kind of accountability later on. It's like a digital hit-and-run setup.
And Scam Finder also mentioned that users were saying the site looked kind of cheap, maybe AI generated, and crucially, no real proof, like no success stories from actual people using it.
Yes, exactly. That perception of being cheaply made, maybe even AI generated, it tells you something. It suggests they didn't really invest much in it. When you see generic designs, vague language, it usually points to a quick, low-effort setup, not a serious business.
Right.
And then, yeah, the total lack of real, verifiable success stories, that's the clincher. These things together, a new site, anonymous owners, huge promises, low quality, no proof. It's like they're following a script, the scammer's playbook, basically, designed to grab your hope, not deliver value.
That paints a much clearer and, yeah, much more worrying picture. Okay, let's really focus on one of those big promises Scam Finder highlighted. This one's pretty specific. Pegasus claims on their site, quote, "Doing this once a day makes me $528 a day." Just, wow, that's not vague, that's a number. A big number daily for doing something once a day. It's designed to sound irresistible, make you stop thinking critically. But here's the key bit. Scam Finder tried to check it out. They actually went to place an order, you know, to buy the system, and nothing. The site just gave an error. It didn't work, which isn't just a small bug, is it? I mean, that suggests maybe there isn't even a real product there to buy. Just flashy words to pull you in, but nothing behind the curtain.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What does it tell you, the potential customer, if you can't even give them your money? If the checkout doesn't work for a supposedly amazing digital product, it's a massive indicator that the product itself might just be smoke and mirrors. It shows a total gap between the sales pitch and, well, reality. Classic tactic, talk a big game, but have nothing to back it up because there is nothing.
And it wasn't just the non-working order system. Scam Finder also looked at their main marketing tool, a video on the site. And that this video makes an even wilder claim, something like, I'll reveal the 7-minute-a-day system that makes me more than most CEOs, doctors, and lawyers combined. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's aiming high, to put it mildly. It's playing right into those get-rich-quick fantasies, completely unrealistic. And if you look at how these things usually work, ScamFinder's analysis of that video is spot on. They pointed out it's another classic scam technique. The video apparently never ends.
Never ends. What does that mean?
It just keeps looping or playing on without ever actually telling you how the system works. It gives zero real details. It's a trick, right? Keeps you watching, keeps you hoping for the secret reveal, dangles the promise, but avoids giving any solid information you could actually check or question. You're stuck in this loop of anticipation, but you never get the goods. Keeps the illusion going.
Okay, so the promises are huge and unverified, the purchase doesn't work, the video was all hype. What about help? You know, if you did somehow get involved, what about customer support? That's crucial for any real service. ScamFinder found the only support option listed is an email address. That's it. No phone, no chat, nothing instant. Just think about that. You have a problem, maybe with money, maybe technically, and all you can do is send an email off into the void and hope. That sounds incredibly frustrating.
It's another massive red flag. It signals they don't really want to deal with users or solve problems. Real companies know support builds trust.
Of course.
When it's just an email, they can ignore you, delay, give vague answers, or just never reply. It creates a buffer, zero accountability, and good luck getting a refund that way.
Yeah, impossible. So lack of support ties into the next big issue, transparency, or rather the complete lack of it. You need to know who you're dealing with online. ScamFinder specifically tried to find out who runs Pegasus, who owns this website making these massive claims.
And nothing. That's what they found. Zero information. As ScamFinder put it, when we tried to find out who actually owns or runs this website, nothing. No names, no company details, totally hidden.
Wow.
Exactly. This isn't just being private, it's deliberate concealment. Legitimate businesses are usually upfront about who they are. It builds trust, gives you recourse. When it's all hidden like this, it basically creates a shield, makes it impossible for you to track them down or hold them accountable if things go wrong. It's designed for them to operate without consequences. It's a fundamental lack of trustworthiness.
Okay, so let's pull these threads together for you, based on what ScamFinder dug out. What does it all mean? We've got a brand new site, owners hiding in the shadows, promises of making, what, $500 plus a day that seem totally unrealistic. Then you can't even actually buy the supposed product. You just get an error. The marketing video is vague, runs forever, gives no real info.
Just hype.
Right. Then there's basically non-existent customer support, just an email address. And finally, total anonymity about who's even running the show.
So based on all of that evidence ScamFinder gathered, their conclusion was pretty clear-cut. Is getpegasusofficial.com legit? Honestly, no. All the signs point towards it being unsafe, unreliable, basically a scam. It fits that pattern perfectly.
Yeah.
So the advice here is pretty straightforward. If you're genuinely looking for ways to build an income online, you really need to steer clear of sites like this one. Don't risk your money or your personal info on something throwing up this many red flags. There are legitimate ways to make money online, but based on ScamFinder's detailed look, Pegasus just isn't one of them.
That is a really clear, stark warning. And it really highlights why doing this kind of deep dive is so important, right? It hammers home that you have to be vigilant, you have to think critically whenever you see an online opportunity that just sounds, well, too easy or too good to be true. Your skepticism really is your best friend online.
Absolutely. And maybe that leaves you with a final thought to consider. Beyond just spotting the obvious red flags we talked about today, what are those fundamental things, those positive signs of trustworthiness that you should always look for before you even get to the red flags? When you encounter any new online service or income opportunity, how can you build your own sort of mental ScamFinder checklist to protect yourself from the start? Something to think about for next time.